Hi, this is Jennifer Dono, and you're watching another episode of the live webcast that happens every Monday through Friday here on yfelive.com at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can tweet me at Jennifer Dono or use the hashtag JenCast during this episode. If you're watching later or you're watching live. Thank you so much for those of you that have checked in on the chat. It's so good to see you. Like at Her Career Advice was saying, it's nice to see you every morning, and I enjoy the discussion that happens. It's like you're in my office with me and we're having coffee together and talking about some of the headlines, which we have a couple to talk about. And the first thing is that it's Gary Vaynerchuk Day. I mean, that's undeniable, right? We all follow someone that's super pumped about Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook is out, which is just a hashtag JJJR. I remember when he first announced the title, and one of the YFEs, Lauren, and I'm blanking on her last name, she replied back like, seriously? Horrible title. But I've read probably the first few chapters, and it's very appropriate. His whole theme is about jab, 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 as in give, 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 and then don't forget that right hook of asking for the sale, essentially. And so he comments, and there's this is something else that's so funny. It was seriously like the most excited thing that a lot of my people that I follow on Twitter are all talking about. Gary Vaynerchuk is on with Marie Forleo today. And I watched it. It was awesome. You should definitely check it out. I really enjoy Gary Vaynerchuk's work because he has such we talked about personal brand yesterday. He has a very clear personal brand. He does his ranting, and he's very clear and crisp to the point, says you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that type of a thing. And I enjoy it. I don't know about you guys. Definitely chat in and let me know what your thoughts are on it. But so he was on with Marie Forleo. And there's a couple things that I thought was interesting I wanted to point out. Well, first of all, that mentality of give, 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 and ask for the sale. But he was saying that thank you economy, we read this last week in Bootstrap Book Club, or last month, and he was saying it's a great thing. It's what's expected, that you are supposed to give of your time and you're supposed to care. And that's essential in your marketing strategy, essential in your business plan, really. And but he said what's happening is that's crippling the people that understand that, because they're forgetting to ask for the sale. So they're giving all of this time away and they're not getting anything in return. And so this book is kind of the follow-up to that, and he provides strategies, that type of a thing. And so what I thought was interesting in this video, and I'm just going to play a short clip of what Gary Vaynerchuk says to Marie Forleo.
Jab, jab, right hook is actually what I do. Give, 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 and then ask.
Yeah.
When I wrote Thank You Economy, I noticed that the people that got it aren't actually doing that well in business because they're too romantic. They're actually crippled by asking for the sale. And then you have 99% of everybody else who's only selling. Right. They're spamming on social. And so if you're always throwing right hooks, people duck, right? They know it's...
You know, I'll let you guys watch the rest of that. And sorry, I forgot to switch the camera, so you're watching it back there on the TV, which you probably can't see because we haven't removed the smoke screens yet. But check out the article or the video. It's on YouTube. It's going to get millions of views, I'm sure, within the first couple weeks. But he says something that kind of, I don't know. He wants to guilt people into buying things. His strategy is to guilt people into buying things by giving so much up front. And I appreciate that strategy because it shows that, I mean, he does care about us, but there's always that feeling like I owe you something after it. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about that strategy. And on today's theme, I don't know if I mentioned this, is gratitude apps. We're going to get to that in a second. I wanted to cover a couple of headlines, by the way. But I just think that's interesting. So tell me what you think about Gary Vaynerchuk's approach. I know I like I said, I'm a fan. I just want to make sure that we open it up for discussion, because on the flip side, another book. So I highly recommend everyone pick this book up today, no matter what, because everyone is reading it. You want to know what the standard is out there as far as online marketing goes, or just marketing in general. And then the flip side is a book that I really suggest you couple with it is The Power of Glamour, which is right behind me as well, which is what we're reading in Bootstrap Book Club, which will bring me to our second headline I wanted to bring up, was that Bootstrap Book Club's book, The Power of Glamour, question 2 is up in the club, so hopefully you guys will go to that. It's I just include yfe.me/find me in the club. You can find out more and join there. But check out question 2 because it's a 3-part question. It has a little printable. But in chapter 2, the first case study was on princesses and the glamour behind why we but why we find them glamorous. And it talks about how little girls project themselves as these characters in the movies because it makes them feel special and it makes them feel like the life can be wonderful. So there's that feeling. And I think it's interesting. We talked about Goldie Blox, the viral video last week, right? I really want this company to succeed because I love the idea. It's by another young female entrepreneur. She's an engineer. I love the concept behind it. My issue was just that they were saying it's not okay to market with pink, essentially, in the song and a lot of the marketing that they do behind it. But that's what they've done. They've turned a toy that's been used for homeschooling purposes in the colors red, white, and yellow, blue, very non-gender specific, and made it more friendly for girls. And I think that's great. I think that's totally okay to do that. But they were saying in the songs like, no, pink is bad type of a thing. And they used Beastie Boys, the girls version of the song, and they parodied it. And so anyway, the reason why I tied it with the princess case study was basically that, it's important to look past the colors and the marketing stuff on the top, like what Gary Vaynerchuk, he's giving us strategies and tactics, and you have to look below it. What is it making these girls feel that they are so interested in princess items? And it's because they feel something. They feel special and they feel like the world can be a better place. And so anyway, I just think it's going to take more than just turning a pink toy or a toy pink to get girls to feel that way about being engineers. Again, sound off. Tell me if you don't agree with me. Totally appreciate opposing views. And again, I really want the companies to succeed. I just had an issue with how they were marketing the pink. And so as far as the Beastie Boys goes, this is an important thing for all of us, I think. They specifically asked, there's this quote in here. They asked people, and by the way, the articles, if you search Beastie Boys, Goldie Blox, the headlines are ridiculous. I mean, the sweet toy company, I can't read exactly everything. Hopefully you guys can see that, but I just had to copy on so you guys could see what the headline baits people are using. Headlines are important. Got to get people to read it. So anyway, basically Beastie Boys came out and said, "Hey, you guys are suing us. That's what's happening." Goldie Blox is suing before being sued, essentially saying that courts, you need to recognize this as a parody. They want to use it in a Super Bowl ad that they're in a contest for if they get chosen. And so what's happening is that Adam, the Beastie Boy that has passed, has explicitly said, and this is something I think the whole band agreed on, is that they didn't want it to be used for commercial purposes. They didn't want people to sell an item. And I think that's interesting because fair use, I mean, all of the parodies that happen on YouTube, they're all selling something, whether it's directly a product or they're selling a channel or selling a talent or they're selling ads around the YouTube channel. So I don't know. Fair use is an interesting topic. I think it's a sticky thing because they're creating new pieces of art based off of it, an already currently used, current piece of art, if that makes sense. So anyway, I want to make sure that everyone follows it. It's going to be really interesting. So again, today's topic is gratitude, and it's Try It Tuesday. So we're going to try out a couple apps, and we're going to go through them pretty quickly. So why gratitude? Let's see if you guys can see that. So why gratitude, and why listing it? Why using technology to talk about what we're thankful for, right? I don't know if you guys do this, but I do it. I list things that I'm grateful for, and usually it is on like a notepad or I just go through it in my head. And I think as entrepreneurs, this is really helpful because there's so many things that goes wrong during the day. There's so many no's that you get. There's so much frustration there. That it's important to sit back and be thankful for what you do have. You have a roof over your head, hopefully. You have good friends. You have food to eat, even if it's top ramen. Those little things that are, as you're getting going and you're looking towards the bigger vision, I think it's just helpful. It makes you feel better about yourself and puts things into perspective. So the reason why I like these apps is because it brings gratitude towards the forefront. Yeah, so at Her Career Advice is agreeing gratitude journals are so good to keep perspective, especially on the low days. And so the reason why I like it is because it's reminders. So if I don't have a piece of paper, I'm not running it through my head, there is something psychological about putting something down on paper, right? The idea that you've committed it out there, it's, you've thought about it, and just the physical act of just writing something down feels good, I think. So anyway, there's this certain gratitude app that I wanted to start with. A number of these are called gratitude. So if you go into the App Store and search, and I'll include links on all these videos. So the gratitude journal is, and we've had actually on the show in the past, Carla Young, who created this, and she wrote the book for people that are starting apps, how to create your first app. And so I password protected mine, which is silly. I don't know why I did this. And here's the thing. I used to love this app. And you guys can maybe see some of the things I'm grateful for. But I haven't used it since September because they didn't do an update since the new iPhone 5. And this is something that really bugs me as far as because it's just such a totally different operating system that when you go to use what do you guys think? I think that it's frustrating to use an outdated app on this particular app operating system because it's so different. Let me know if you disagree. But anyway, I haven't used it since then, but I love the design. And Carla Young, when we had her on, talked about the aesthetics behind an app that makes people want to share it, that makes people want to use it, and it's just really pretty. See, my issue with it, though, is that the keyboard takes up half of it, and it makes it a little bit hard to use. You can attach images, and you can also set an alarm. And that's one of the things that I think is important, is that ability to set an alarm to remind you just in the middle of your day to be grateful. And this is something, yes, push updates. Do it. From @CoreyFreeman. So the thing that I like about it is that it's reminders during your day to be grateful, no matter what, if you're having a good day or a bad day. And that's something that Gabby Bernstein says in May Cause Miracles. She talks about setting alarms during your day to have points of being grateful or to say your affirmation, that type of a thing. And I like that the apps do it for you. With that in mind, there's another app that's, again, named Gratitude, if you look at it, but it's Random Gratitude. And so this is that, and all of these are free, by the way. So some of them have limited features if they're free, except for that Gratitude app, by the way, that you have to pay for, the one by Carla Young. This one's free, and you're able to set random alarms. And I actually set one between 10 and 10:15, and it hasn't rung yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. So that way it's random during your day. And I like that idea because that's not something that is native on your phone. You can't just set a random alarm. Maybe if you get another app for that to do that. So it's a surprise. Remember to be gratitude or to give gratitude during your day. There's a lot of annoying ads though if you don't purchase the actual app. So again, that's Random Gratitude. Gratitude 365 is another one. Let's see if you guys can see it. It looks like that little gold and white guy. And this is pretty much a ripoff of the Gratitude app, except it's designed a little differently. And you can make 7 entries in Gratitude, and then you have to pay for the full feature one. And these are not expensive apps either. And the nice thing is, both that one and Carla Young's app, is that you can add a photo onto it. And again, it's just something visual, just like with the Power of Glamour. There's so much power behind the visual items, the things during our day. And for me, sometimes I have a very bad short-term, long-term, every kind of memory. And it's just nice to have that little cue of this is what it looked like when I felt that way. So again, it has a lot of the same features as Carla Young's, but as you can see, it is for iPhone 5. Now, let's talk about a different one, a different kind, and this is something you guys might be interested in. It's called Your Gratitude Tree. Again, free, but it has some ads. And so with this one, you had entries using these little leaves. Interesting, huh? So you fill up your tree full of leaves and then bloom with things you're thankful for. It's a little cutesy, but again, another type of gratitude giving. And then finally, one other one that I wanted to review was this Thankful app. Now this one's totally different as far as the aesthetics go. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit more crisp. It's a little bit more modern. Yeah, at Terry J. Moore saying that's a little too cutesy for me. I agree. But Julie Kelly is saying it's so cute. And it is. It's really cute. So this one, as you can see, is just very clean and crisp. And again, it's called Thankful. It has a lowercase t. This is the free version. You can get a paid for version. And with this, you can change the colors by just swiping. So it starts on a yellow. You can decide which color you want. So this also allows you to count your blessings. So you can, during the day, if you feel blessed, you can just tap it and it adds another one. And so at the end of the day, you can look at how many times you felt blessed. I don't know, it might work for some people. If you click the little plus sign at the top, you can write what you're thankful for in. Again, this is a free version. And then you can go back and look at some of the things that you were thankful for. You can see quotes, and you can also share what it is that you're thankful for on your social networks, which a lot of them allow you to do. I'm not someone that shares what I'm grateful for on Facebook and Twitter. I kind of feel boastful doing that. Every once in a while, I'll say that I'm thankful for our clients or something like that, things that I tell people anyway, person to person. So if you do that, though, I like reading them. I think it's a good reminder. So Om Vana is the next one. I have two more that I want to just share, and these aren't necessarily grateful apps, but I think they increase your happiness and awareness for what it is that you're grateful for during the day. Om Vana is by Mind Valley, which a lot of you probably know. They are a publisher or some type of publisher. So when you download it, you get these free meditations. So it is something that you have to do in-app purchases, but one of them is Gabby Bernstein's Growing Your Light meditation. So if you don't need a number of them, you can just grab that and get some free meditations that you can listen to during the day. It's nice. And then the last one that I wanted to just share with you is this Happier Network. I haven't joined it yet because, and you guys can tell me if you agree with me or not on this one, I get irritated when these social media network type things and apps ask you to sign up using Facebook or Twitter, but then they don't use your data that you have in the network. So I have to create a whole new profile, even though I have all of my data and my images and everything in my Facebook. So I don't want to have to add my email address and add my profile picture and add my name and everything like that. It's a little tip from me to you. It would be great if you could do that if you're developing an app. So anyway, those were some of the gratitude apps that I hope you guys will check out. It was fun trying them all out. I would say probably my favorite one out of all of them, I really like that random gratitude one because of the idea that the alarm goes off at any point during your day, which is just unique. It's not something you can do alone on your iPhone by setting alarms and using the notepad. So I would check that out if I were you. So anyway, this has been Jennifer Dono. You're watching the daily live webcast that happens every Monday through Friday here at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I know Corey said you need to market these better. I do. I need to make sure that you guys are reminded that this is happening. I'd love to have you show up live if you're available. Otherwise, you can find the replays on YouTube and on iTunes. The best way to find out more about YFE is by signing up for our mailing list at what's with me in the wwws today? Sign up for it at yfe.me/mailed it. And we've got, of course, a reminder. Check out Bootstrap Book Club if you're a member already. Question 2's on there. It's a free printable. Download it, work on it, and then go in and answer it, ask for help, that type of thing. That's why the club's there. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Jennifer Dono. Tweet me at Jennifer Dono, and hope to see you back here tomorrow.